the new video. Welcome to today's video, guys. I am severely sick, so I'm sorry if I sound terrible. I'll do my best. Anyways, get these before you lower your Miata. I'm going to tell you why. You need to make sure that you have the correct geometry in your suspension and your tie rods and all that jazz. When you lower the car, you screw all that up, so it makes the car handle like shit. Especially if you deleted your power steering and things like that too. You can really feel all the bump steer. So I'm going to show you exactly what's going on, how and why these help so much. And we'll start with driving this car over to my buddy Shiloh's and show you the steering. Check this out. No power steering, so it's a little hard, but so bumps and things like that, if you can see my wheel, you'll notice them like on a bump. See how it moves the wheel so much without me touching it? For example, but you can feel the bumps. I'm not touching the wheel in this as well, and it will just snap the steering wheel out of your hands on the bumps, especially at speed. It's terrifying and kind of reckless, really. So that's why you want to correct the geometry, especially when you lower the car, because you mess up your tie rods and then you're screwed. So what the idea of the rack spacers is to correct that geometry and make it to where it doesn't do that. And hopefully, if you deleted your power steering, it makes it easier on the power steering side too. So somehow we're gonna get in. Yeah, let's get this car in. Like I mentioned, I'm very sick, and I'm sorry. But I'm gonna try to get you guys this shot. You can kind of see the tie rod being bent. I don't know if this one's easier to see. Yes. So you can see that the tie rod is going at an upward angle. There we go. An upward angle. And that's what we're trying to eliminate by adding those rack spacers. Is going to lift the rack up and correct that angle right there, which is going to dramatically change the way the car handles. And there's a chance as well that it's going to tow out the car, which is fine. We'll have to mess with the alignment anyways, but that's what we're trying to correct. When you lower the car, it picks up and kicks up the tie rods like that, which introduces a lot of bump steer and other issues, makes the steering heavier. And this is already deleted the power steering, so it's already hard to steer as it is. So doing this should improve the way it handles overall, especially with no power steering and being a lowered car. So the perks are, it'll handle better. We can make it even lower, which is cool. So we just need to get it up in the air. It's a really simple process to swap it over, and I'll show you how it goes. Quick, like 15-minute job. There's a few other things I'd want to do as well. I noticed my differential alignment isn't great with the PPF, so I'm going to try to go up in there while we have it up in the air, loosen everything, and get the PPF and the drive shaft and everything a little more straight. Let's get it up in the air. Alright, y'all, so here is the steering rack. And this is the tie rod, and this is the issue that we have. Right now the car's in the air, so you can't really tell. It's drooping down. But right here, that is where your spacer is going to go. Right in between that bolt right there, and it just lifts the whole rack up just a bit. You can do a ½ inch, in between ½ inch. There's a few different sizes you can get. I did the in between because I'm not putting this on the ground. I'm not slamming it, but you have the option for taller ones if you do decide to like be a stance boy or something like that. But these are just 14mm bolts. There's one on the front, one on the back, same on the side down there. You just pop those 4 bolts out, slide the rod underneath, bolt it back down, and you're good to go. So I'm going to zap these off and get that plate under there really quick. Kind of hard to see, but you can see that the spacers are now in there, in between the rack and the subframe. Wasn't too bad, just getting behind that bolt back there on this side was kind of difficult a little bit, and I'm ignorant. I have my intake relocated down here, so I had to take that off so I could actually get over there, but it is done and dusted. I'm excited to see what this changes. If you have a lowered Miata and it handles like shit and you don't have rack spacers, try some rack spacers. They're pretty cheap And it's an easy job to do and might fix just your issue. But moving on, like I mentioned, my PPF brace I think is out of alignment. Same with my diff. So I'm gonna get under there, loosen all that up, and see if we can straighten some things out with my PPF, my diff, get that stiffened back up, and see if this whole car can handle a little bit differently. I think I'm gonna lower it a little bit too. I'm just on some max speeding rods. Lower it just a little bit and see how she performs. Well, I don't know if you guys can tell too well, but those are the bolts for the PPF. This is the diff. So I jacked the diff up and then tried to tighten up the bushing and everything. It was as tight as can be, but there was still a lot of slop in it. So I think the bushings might be blown, but these were not loose, but I could tighten them more. So while it was jacked up, I tightened it a bit. I even went up front and did the same thing on the ones on the front up there and tightened those as well. It all seems a little bit more stiff, but before I try to lower it anymore, and I'm getting new tires here soon too, because these are, yeah, they need to go. We'll put it on the ground first before I adjust anything like height-wise and see if the tie rods did move at all and if they're in a better spot now. So gonna go ahead and get the car on the ground, see how she's looking, and hopefully we'll get a little more better steering out of her. Alright guys, I don't know if you can tell, but the angle is better. A little bit better. Not as aggressive as it was, but also not great. So that means I probably should have done the 1/2 inch. But Sean and I have a plan. He has some plates. We're gonna cut them to the same size and then put those in there. We're gonna do a little bit of fabrication. So this video is gonna take a little bit longer than I thought. Here's how you also DIY make rack mounts or rack spacers for your Miata. I'm so sick.
He's gay.
Thank you.
He can't drive.
It's still a little tough.
He isn't. Is that all you want? Yeah. Okay, I'll see that. Okay, we're gonna go to the store real quick and get a beer, so.
So far, I think it picked up Ackerman because the steering's a lot tighter. The alignment's definitely off. Yeah, steering's way tighter now. I think it's really towed out. Smokes. Are you feeling those bumps? Are you feeling those bumps?
I feel like bumps.
Yeah, but do they feel like the bumps when they were being bumpy before? These are feeling like, this is feeling like normal car. I think it literally changed the whole car. The steering got a little bit stiffer, but I think that's mostly the toe out, because I should have towed it out a little bit. That's fine. But I was intentionally hitting those potholes, and it felt like we were just in a normal car. This is game changing. Well, hold on, we got train tracks coming, so. Like, it is terrifying. The wheel didn't even move. Oh my god. Okay, yes. If you guys are to lower your Miata, 100% do rack spacers. You'll see on like other drift cars and stuff too, guys will cut the subframes up and whatnot and relocate their racks to correct the geometry for the tie rods and everything. And at least with Miatas, you can literally just put these rack spacers in instead of having to relocate the rack. Oh man, this is game changer, 100%. And I also noticed too, the shifting's a lot better too. I was missing third gear there for a minute because of everything being so loose in the rear. This is mint. Okay guys, get rack spacers before you lower your Miata. Completely different driving experience. Oh my god, this is great. I don't know what to say now.
You sound terrible.
I am still very sick, yes. Oh, this is fucking awesome, man. It kind of drives like a normal car. That's crazy.
Ain't nothing normal.
What you mean? It's normal. Don't worry about it. It's a little janky. It's okay. This is the classic. This is a classic. Some kid traded me a cracked, destroyed OEM front bumper for a KVD kit because he wanted it to look classic, he said. That is weird. That is so weird to me. He wanted to build a nice classic car. It's a Miata, dude. Well, this will tell us a lot too, pulling in. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I love that so much. Well, the diff things. Alright, let's go get some beer.
Beer.
Damn it.
Start recording.
I'm still sicker than a dog. I'm like on the tail end of this thing and it's just kicking my ass. So I'm sorry I'm so crusty this whole video. And so I did a bad job filming putting the rack spacers in. Give me a break. I am pretty under the weather. But I don't know if I explained everything correctly with the point of the rack spacers and how much they do affect everything. Effectively, you're changing the steering geometry when you lower your car. So your tie rods and everything, they're in a different position. So when you steer, they're putting more like stress and everything on the actual rack itself. So when you hit a bump and the tie rod, you know, here's your steering rack, here's your tie rod, and right here's your tie. When you hit a bump, and this tie rod goes up like while you're driving, that's going to affect your steering. It's going to go somewhere, right? So it's going to shove it back into the steering rack, which goes into your wheel. And when you lower the car, from the factory, there's specific geometry where your tie rod needs to be sitting so that when you hit bumps and things like that, it doesn't affect your actual driving experience. So when you lower it, you throw that all away and just crumple up and just toss handling right out the window. So I know it didn't look that great in the video, and I didn't really get to show too well of the actual issue of the bump steer. but it did make a massive, massive difference putting the rack spacers in. All it literally did is it took the tie rods being from like this, or they're like this, no, they're like this, and it raised the rack up with it, so now they're more like this. And so when it hits bumps and things like that, there's not that strain, so the steering's good. And yeah, it's a night and day difference. Like, if you lowered your car and it feels off and handles like garbage, look into getting some rack spacers now. Not all steering racks are the same. A lot of times you have to relocate the rack entirely in different ways, whether that's cutting up your subframe and putting it somewhere else, or what have you. Or luckily, in our instance with Miatas, you can just get the rack spacers to bump it up, and effectively that's doing the same thing. It's like relocating the rack almost, so your geometry is all in play. But it was 9-day difference, let me tell you. Hitting bumps and things like that, just casually driving the car actually feels nice to drive now. Before, it felt horrible. I would never recommend lowering your car until you get rack spacers. They're cheap, they're like 50 to 70 bucks online, depending on where you get them, and you can get different size ones if you're gonna slam it on the ground or not be super low. But serious major pro tip there. Get some rack spacers if you're gonna lower your Miata, because it is a game changer. Car feels way better now. Moving on, so there's this piece of junk behind me. If you watched the last video, I'll try to put the little thing up here. I got scammed on an engine for this. There is my test block in here, and my ECU over here isn't gonna work with my harness and all that jazz, which sucks, but we're making do with what we've got. So we got some more wiring and things like that to figure out here. And then, you're not gonna believe this, but I'm really excited. Shiloh actually just got in the rest of his parts to finish his 1UZ swap in his S chassis. So, hard to tell, but this is a clutch for his 1UZ swap. He has the throwout bearing and everything like that too. And this kit is crazy because it came with a 6-puck clutch, which I already have warned Shiloh it's gonna be fun to drive a 6-puck. He hasn't experienced like a 6-puck or anything like that before. But we now officially have everything we need to complete his 1UZ swap in the S12. Don't worry, I'll turn the camera in a second so you can see the car and the engine. Some mess in the garage right now. But we have the adapter plate for the transmission, the KA trans to the 1UZ block, the throwout bearing, extended throwout bearing, the clutch, flywheel, all of it that we need, we have. We've got the motor mounts, have the harness, we've got it all. So now it's just a matter of smashing it all together and making it work and plugging a few wires in. So I'm pretty excited for this build. It's gonna rip. We have a buddy that literally has the same car with the same swap, and it's a monster. The thing's a unit. So stay tuned, because we're gonna be putting that together really soon. His car's probably been running before mine. I have a few more things to figure out, because no one puts a Miata engine in an RX-7, so there's that. So I'm just kind of having to just figure it out as we go. But that's what we've got going on with his car. I'll show you his car. So his car, it's in repair right now, so it's not the prettiest. Don't dog on it, but this is an S12 200SX. It is an S chassis. It's just the grandpappy of the well-known S chassis. This thing's cooler than those, in my opinion. It's like almost like a Fox body. And then it's a mess in the garage right now, I'm sorry. But here's his 1UZ. We have the wiring harness already just laid out across it and everything, ready to go. The KA trans, the rest of his parts and everything that we need to get his build going. And then with mine, been in the process of going through wiring diagrams and figuring out everything for my pop-ups, torque, turn signals, all that jazz. And then mocked up the block in here with the intake and the exhaust. It's gonna be interesting routing the exhaust through here, because on RX-7s, it's flipped. Your intake's on the other side, your exhaust is on this side, so there's more room to fit an exhaust. So we're gonna have to get creative over here, but it'll be fine. And it's gonna be boosted as well, so that's the stock Miata manifold. I just put it there just to see how much room we'd have. And then as far as power steering goes, that's gonna be a neat one, because I want to run a remote. Yeah, I think remote power steering setup. So essentially, there's a few different models you can find them in. The most known one is running a Volvo pump. They have the electric power steering pump, and it has the reservoir built in on it. And so you can throw that thing like in the back of your trunk or something like that, or just somewhere else. But I've heard, I think, Nissan Sentras certain years, Mazda 3s certain years, Dodge Durangos. There's a few different options. We're going to be hitting the junkyard soon too to find power steering pump, because we're going to use the same rack and everything. That's the power steering rack, but we're going to run an electric pump. So, and we're going to relocate that into the car too. Same thing with the battery, because I'm using a Miata harness. And if you know Miata, the battery is in the trunk of the car, which is sick from factory. And in the back of the RX-7, they have like little tubs in the back, little cubbies, back seats. And I'm thinking that's where we're going to put the battery and also put the power steering pump. Car is a disaster right now. I'm sorry. It's ugly. You can fight me on that. It's a work in progress trying to get 2 cars built in the same tiny little garage. But Miata's running good. Feels great. Didn't break down on us the other day going to Walmart. That's a story for another day, but we fixed it. Intake fell off. And so now it's just getting back to these, but I think we're going to have a lot more content on the S12 than anything right now, so stay tuned. If you're here for S chassis stuff, 1UZ stuff, we're going to be blasting out 1UZ videos, because it's all go, go, go. So if you're trying to figure out how to do a 1UZ swap on a real tight budget, we're going to show you how to do it. So stick around, folks. Subscribe if you're liking what you're seeing. Like, comment, dog on us in the comments. Do what you gotta do. Just watch the videos and share it around so I can maybe get a few more views. That'd be cool too. I just need one more sub, by the way, to crack 300. So if anyone wants to be the 300th subscriber, you know what to do. Click that button. Feel cool. Make me feel good about myself. Yeah. Thanks, guys.